everybody, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the podcast where all pro wrestling matters. I'm your host, Bill Yankovic, joined as always by the one and only Fro. How you doing, Fro?
I am the one and only.
Well, at least you're...
Nobody's right like me. I am.
At least you're our one and only Fro. So...
Yes. True.
And this week, we're gonna try. That's what old Chuck Taylor said this week. But anyway, this week, we are previewing AEW Revolution. We're gonna make our picks for who we think's gonna win. Plus, we're going to talk about WWE Hall of Fame news. We're going to talk about The Masked Singer. And we're going to have another week of wrestling with politics. But before we do that, I wasn't really sure how to start off this week's show. So I think we're going to start off with the serious news of the week. Because there is something else I do want to talk about. But as everybody knows by now, the coronavirus is starting to become globally spread around the world. It's getting bad. And it has gotten to the point where, and I honestly don't know if I've ever heard this, New Japan Pro Wrestling has canceled half of their shows in March because of the coronavirus.
I'm not super surprised by that.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
No. I was talking to someone today actually about this. I was we were talking about the Summer Olympics.
Right, because they're going to be in Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo. And also, I think probably it will hit Eurovision as well. I'm getting concerned for Eurovision at least. That is in May, so we'll see.
Now, of course, the people in Japan, they're taking this very seriously because not only has New Japan been affected, but the Japanese Major League, which is their baseball, all their preseason games are going to be played without spectators. Their rugby union league has canceled 16 games. Basically, all their sports leagues have canceled games. Concerts have been canceled. Public schools are shut for a month in Japan. This is how serious it has gotten. Stardom, they've had to cancel a show that was coming up real soon. The DDT promotion, Pro Wrestling Noah, a lot of the wrestling promotions in Japan have canceled their shows because of the coronavirus. And I think it is very important to do, considering how many people have died, and also with the talent that comes over, because it's all over the world. It's not just Japan, it's America, it's England, it's Australia, New Zealand, it's all over the place. Yeah, and you don't really want to take that chance to get fans or people sick. And that was something, and I didn't mention this when we recorded our review of Super Showdown, which you guys could check out on Patreon. We'll plug it again later. Some of the fans in Saudi Arabia were wearing masks yesterday.
Yeah.
During the show.
I would say around 10%, maybe. Especially was one guy with a hoodie that struggled very much with his mask that we saw a lot of times.
Yeah.
The guy with a light blue hoodie.
Yeah. And also, because, we have the coronavirus, we are right now in the middle of WrestleMania season. So the Tampa Bay Times, because Tampa Bay is hosting WrestleMania, ran an article today about the growing concerns pertaining to coronavirus and WrestleMania. Stephanie McMahon commented about this. I'm going to read her quote. The health and safety of not only our fan base, but also our superstars really does come first. We don't want to put anyone in a bad situation ever, regardless of the circumstance. Those are not risks worth taking. John Sabor, who is the Executive Vice President of Special Events for WWE, said, and I quote, "Given the number of live events that WWE does, it's constantly monitoring global events. There are active and ongoing discussions at play internally like there are in any sector of American business, and certainly families as a whole. So I think those will continue." So the coronavirus situation, this is a real thing. And I'm glad that we're talking about it because I don't want to put the other Japanese promotions down because there are some really good promotions in Japan. DDT, Stardom, Dragon Gate, All Japan, Noah. I could go on.
Right.
But New Japan, which is right now the WWE of Japan, they had to be the one to say, look, we're canceling our shows. We're not taking any chances. And they're doing the right thing. They really are.
I think they are. I mean, it's very hard for them, and I feel the deepest sympathy. I do, but it's very hard for them. Like the movie business as well in Japan has plummeted because of this, and China as well. Like everything going on in China it is terrible for the market.
Yeah, it really is. I know here, or as much as I know in the United States, a flight attendant has it because they were going to and from Los Angeles. I think another person in Northern California has it. And I know here in Maryland, there are 3 people that they are testing to make sure, if they have it or not. So, but the events that New Japan has canceled, for those that are curious, they had an anniversary tour, and then this coming Tuesday would have been the anniversary show. And then the next day would have started the New Japan Cup, which is their single elimination tournament. They've canceled all the way to the 14th of March. So if by some miracle they are able to get back to work on the 16th, I don't know how they're going to do it. I think the booking is the last thing on their minds right now. They just want to make sure everybody is safe and healthy.
I couldn't agree more.
And I know you guys are hearing my mom cough. No, she does not have the coronavirus. She's been dealing with pneumonia and a really bad cough. She's basically trying to fight it off. Like I told Fro before we even started, my house has become a medical ward. My parents are sick. My sister is sick. Knock on wood, I'm the healthy one at the moment. So, but yeah, this is a very serious situation. I'm glad New Japan is on the forefront of this. I'm glad DDT and Stardom, Pro Wrestling Noah, they're on the forefront of this. I'm waiting to see which North American promotion takes that next step. That'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it will.
Another topic that I want to talk about, because this sort of came out of left field this week. Because not only do Fro and I record podcasts, we listen to podcasts as well. And I want your honest opinion. How do you feel when a podcast says, okay, this is our last episode, we can't do any more, we're done, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Like, how?
It depends.
Yeah. Like, which
It depends.
Okay. Because this week on the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing, which we do plug every week, we used to, their 200th episode was their last episode. They announced on the show, because of how busy all three of them are, that they are deciding to stop the podcast. And, you know, I totally get it, because we all have lives. We really do.
Yeah.
And, you know, you really want to go out when you're like, I'm not having fun anymore. That's when you go out, to me.
Mm-hmm.
They were just busy. All three of them have jobs. Two of them have kids. They've got families. I could totally understand where they're coming from, and it's a shame that they are stopping, because it's a fun podcast to listen to. But, yeah, I was a little surprised when I heard that they were stopping, but I think when you've gotten to a certain point, you just stop where you are, basically.
Then that's what like I have said to you, and I have said to Luke as well. Like, the day I don't find this interesting or funny anymore, I need a break, and then I need to come up with something new. And like,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I like about this podcast, that I also like with my own. It's like, I never know where we are going from the beginning of it. Like, we have some things that we're going to cover, like, I know that, but it's like, it's a gut feeling. It's a conversation more than a. I'm not extremely worried about, is this going to sound like this, or is this going to sound like that?
Right.
I was when I did the editing of the podcast. I was super occupied with that. But now I'm more like, okay, it's going to go like it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Some shows are going to be shit. Some shows are going to be good.
Yeah, because there's going to be some weeks where we have great shows, and then there's going to be other weeks where it's like, oh, that really wasn't the best show in the world. So,
yep.
And that's how it should be, to be honest. I mean,
I think at least never do a podcast because you think you're going to make money out of it, or you think you're going to be rich and famous out of it. Like, I've learned after multiple of episodes, like, if you do your craft and you're happy about the craft you do, you get the listeners that you want. Like, would I wish that more listen to the show? Of course I would. But then again, okay, if they don't, they don't. I can't make them listen.
And if they don't like wrestling, I'm not going to force it on them. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, but no, I just wanted to bring that up, and we will plug the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing one more time this week, because you should listen to it. It's a pretty fun episode, but I wanted to bring that up. Well, let's talk about the NWA, the Crockett Cup, the date, the location. It is officially announced. Want to mark this date down?
Oh.
It is.
I'm really looking forward to it.
It is Sunday, April the 19th, going to be held in suburban Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be in College Park, Georgia. That's not the College Park that I live in. It's another college park. Tickets are available today. They have gone on sale. And the big match, the main event, is the rematch from last year's Crockett Cup. Marty Scurll challenging Nick Aldis for the NWA World Heavyweight title.
I can't wait.
Oh, God. Will the rematch be as good or better? That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. And I do know, as of right now, you can watch it on Fight TV to see this event on the 19th. It's a 7 o'clock start Eastern Time. And here are the ticket prices if you guys are interested in going to this event. Cheapest is $35. Then you have $60 and $100. So,
not too bad.
Yeah, considering what wrestling ticket prices go today, especially for WWE, not really that bad. Speaking of not really bad, let's talk about this week's Masked Singer.
I was like thinking, I hope he doesn't talk about the pay-per-view we watched.
No.
Yes, let's do that, because we have the preliminary event. It was Banana that sang Achy Breaky Heart by Miley
Cyrus
by Billy Ray Cyrus. Yes. Now sang This Will Be Everlasting Love by Natalie Cole. Frog sang In the Club by 50 Cent. Taco sang...
it's pronounced 50 Cent.
50. Yeah, 50. Taco sang Bossa Nova Baby by Elvis Presley.
2 weeks in a row Elvis played.
Yeah. And Kitty sang Marcy by Brett Young. Never heard of.
I've never heard that song.
It was very good. I'm going to go to guesses before we tell you who went out. Because I think I know Banana.
I do too.
I think that is Bill Engvall.
Ooh. No, I think that's Bret Michaels.
Okay, because I have changed from Bret Michaels. I said that last week.
Here's my thing about the Banana. The first week
was the Rose thing.
I couldn't really get the voice.
Right.
This week, I could hear it, and his presence, the way he was talking, I could tell it's Bret Michaels. Okay,
I hope I was right last week. I just like the more that was like he has worked along with Jeff Foxworthy and
things
like that. Yeah, and in the Blue Collar Club, and he has also been where on Dancing with the Stars, and yeah. Anyway, I think it is. I've gone away from Bret Michaels to Bill Engvall, but we'll see. I still think Tom Bergeron is the Taco.
I still have no idea who the Taco is.
The Mouse, I will know. The Kitty, I will not even guess.
No.
And the Frog is Bow Wow.
I'm sticking with my pick of Michael Johnson. Although I think Frog had the best performance this week.
I definitely can hear Bow Wow in there.
I'll have to listen next time.
Okay.
So Mouse was eliminated.
Yeah, and I was right. Woohoo! It was Diane Warwick.
Dionne Warwick. How old is she? She is 79 years old. God bless her.
She keeps in form. That voice is so salty and so good.
Didn't she do...
She picked the wrong song.
Yeah. Didn't she... wasn't she in The Emperor's New Groove?
Maybe.
Was she... I'm trying to... I think she... Let me check real quick.
Okay. While you do that, I'm going to ask you, who is the last one that goes out?
Ooh.
Because I have no clue. I think it is between Taco and Banana.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah. I think Bow Wow and Kitty will go on.
I definitely agree that it's between the Taco and the Banana.
Yeah.
Who was in that movie?
I like The Emperor's New Groove.
I know, it's
a really
good movie.
Underrated Disney movie, yes.
Oh, it's Eartha Kitt.
Ah.
That's what it is. That's who it is. Eartha Kitt is really good in that movie, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's either the Taco or the Banana that's going next week.
I think so as well.
T-Pain will be the next celebrity judge, and that will be next week's episode.
Yeah, at least it will be better than this week's episode, because I don't like the code there. What is his name?
Gabriel Iglesias?
Yeah, I never liked him.
Fluffy.
I never got his comedy, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, it will be nice to have the final of the group, and then we move on to the last group, so that will be interesting.
Yep. All right.
Yes, so should we talk 2 seconds about the pay-per-view that we talked about?
Yeah, why don't we do that? There was a show yesterday called Super Showdown, held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It was a terrible show.
Really?
One of the worst shows I have ever seen.
Yeah. Go and check that out on Patreon.
For $3, if you pledge on the $3 tier, you get the review of Super Showdown. You get to hear our pain and agony.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you anything here, but we'll talk about one of the consequences, because he was on Super Showdown that nobody knew that was going to be on Super Showdown.
Undertaker.
Yeah, he had a match? Question mark?
Very question mark.
He was there. Did a slam into it, just went away.
And this is how I forgot to mention this in our review, Fro. It was so bad that we had a replay of the pin.
I know.
We had a replay of the pin.
Right. So does this confirm your WrestleMania theory? Yes, it does.
Yep. Yeah. Like
I'm 110% sure that Undertaker versus AJ Styles now will be a match at WrestleMania.
It's like I said. I'll say it to everyone here. I was like, look, AJ's gonna win the trophy. In my mind, I'm like, AJ's gonna win the trophy. He's gonna keep bragging. Then the Undertaker will pop up on Raw and challenge him. That's how it's, But no, we don't have the book. We are not in control, ladies and gentlemen, of WWE. I'm sure a lot of you would want us to be.
It would be better than what we got, that's for sure.
Man. Hopefully Saturday's show will be a lot better. Spoiler
alert, yeah. It probably will. But no, it's just like I feel. I said this before. Like every time the Undertaker returns, I get happy and sad, because the Undertaker is my favorite wrestler of all time. It just irritates me more than it gets to me when he returns. It's like, because right now I just want him to be done, and I want him to go into the Hall of Fame and just stay away from the wrestling. We don't need him anymore.
I know in our Facebook group, Steve is very pumped for this match.
Right.
And he wants AJ Styles to win, and he wants this to be Undertaker's last match. Which, who knows? It very well could be. We don't know.
I hope he's right. Like, at least that would make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't trust him anymore, and that's my main problem.
Yeah.
Is like the last time I thought he was done, he left the fucking shoes in the ring.
Yeah, he left everything in the ring.
Right, and left, and I was like, "Oh, thank heaven, we're done with this."
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it when we were, because I remember I watched WrestleMania with you that year, and I said at least to somebody, I said like it's the end of an era, and I felt a little tear down my chin. I was sad because like I said, Undertaker,
that was the perfect ending.
Yeah, it was the perfect ending.
You know how
and then they go and fuck it up the year after, having him in a match against fucking John Cena.
You know how when we talked to Grass Dragon, and he said how Edge's retirement was the perfect ending?
Right.
The way Undertaker left after 33, to me, was the perfect ending.
I couldn't agree more. And then he goes and fuck it up the year after.
Yep.
It's like, it's so incredibly frustrating.
It is.
But yeah, no, we had some talking about the Hall of Fame. We had some Hall of Fame news.
Oh yeah, we do. It was announced this past Friday night on SmackDown that the Bella Twins are going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yay! Another reason for me to not watch the Hall of Fame this year.
Look, they were gonna go in eventually. Why not get it out of the way now?
I will tell you why. The Undertaker is still not in the fucking thing. You're telling me that the Bella Twins are better than the Undertaker?
But Fro, here's the problem.
And more legendary than the Undertaker? And deserves to be in the Hall of Fame before the Undertaker?
Fro!
Are you telling me that?
Here's the problem. Undertaker will not let himself retire. Vince will not let him retire.
I know!
That's the problem.
That's the problem. No,
look,
but I say this in a little joking matter. I say this like, it isn't a shame. I mean, it's totally okay. It makes me have another excuse not watching the fucking thing.
They were going to get in eventually. They really were.
Yeah, but yeah.
Now, I will say though, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I guess I am going to be mean when I say this. When they come out for their induction speech, they'll probably have their hands on their back going, "Oh, God! Why are we doing this?"
I think they will probably get booed.
They probably, unless Daniel Bryan is the one that inducts them in, and they're like, "Oh, Daniel Bryan's inducting him. We can't boo him."
I think that it's probably very obvious that he will be him. What would be the most funny thing is if it was John Cena. I love that that's the same. That would be so funny. I would love that. Anyway.
Actually, we will talk about the Bellas one more time in a different way a little later on.
Okay, let's talk about that right away then.
All right, let's get into it. Well, we got some books that are going to be coming out in the near future. The Young Bucks are going to be releasing a memoir that is available for pre-order right now.
Cool.
So you could get that on Amazon. You could pre-order it on Amazon and bookstores nationwide. The title of the book is called Young Bucks Killing the Business from Backyards to the Big Leagues.
Haven't they given out a book?
No.
Okay.
This will be released in the fall and retail for $27.99.
Okay. And the Bell Twins are going to have a book then, I'm guessing.
Yes, they are. And let me find...
Is it calling 2 slots?
Oh, man, that would probably be what we would want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I did see this.
Instead of like 2 girls, 1 cup, it's 2 slots, 1 John Cena.
Wow.
I would call.
Wow. Now, okay, so anyway. So, the name of the book is called Incomparable.
Mm-hmm.
It will be coming
Yes,
out.
because I can't see the fucking difference between them.
It will be coming out on May the 5th. And here's a synopsis of the book.
No.
Yep.
Oh.
A raw, honest, and revealing co-memoir by Brie and Nikki Bella, twin sisters, WWE Hall of Fame inductees, entrepreneurs, philanthropic, God darn it, I'm gonna mess this word up. Philanthropists.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And stars
STD spreaders.
And stars of the hit shows Total Bellas and Total Divas. As twins, the Bellas have always competed. Legend has it that Nikki drop-kicked Brie in the womb so that she could make her grand entrance first. But the rest of the world often treated them as identical and even interchangeable, so they decided to do something about it. In WWE, the Bellas accomplished so much together, bringing in young girls and women while building the Bella Army, helping the transition of female performers from divas to superstars.
Yeah, because that was the women's revolution in wrestling, was the Bella twins.
Starring in Total Divas and Total Bellas, and founding companies like Birdie Bee, Nicole and Breezy Beauty, and Bonita Wine. Though their early journey began with loss, abuse, and plenty of rough times, these challenges shined the diamond. They resolved to be survivors and the heroes of their own stories, and to take control and responsibility for their lives. Eventually, they would come to show girls everywhere that they can do anything. The Bellas may be identical twins, but as individuals, they have proven themselves incomparable.
Kill me now.
You can pre-order this book on Amazon for $20.
Oh yeah, let me do that right now.
It's a hardcover. And if you want it on your Kindle, it's $12.99.
If you order it, please send me your receipt so I can laugh off you. Make fun of you.
It is 256 pages long.
I will say this right now. I doubt they have written one single fucking word in that book. They had a ghostwriter, because that's exactly what they did. You know I'm right.
No, I know.
They had a ghostwriter.
They probably did.
No, they had. It's not allegedly. They had a ghostwriter. I'm telling you. They have not written one single word of that book.
It was in crayon.
I doubt they can spell STD.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, it'll be fun talking about them when we give our grade for the Hall of Fame class in March. When we do that, that's only 4 weeks away, actually.
Yeah.
I
can't wait with the two people or the two groups that have been already.
4 weeks.
I didn't care about the first nomination, and I suddenly don't care about the second one. At least last year, I was like more morbidly entertained by the acceptance speech of G Generation X and things like that. That was kind of interesting. This year, I have absolutely no reason to watching.
All right, let's get off of the Bellas Of course, that's
what John Cena said.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about something that is actually entertaining. We are going to have in 2021 an animated movie about wrestling.
Yeah, I see the trailer for this. It looks pretty good.
It is announced that Paramount Animations will be releasing Rumble, which will be set to hit the screen on January 29th, 2021.
Have you seen the trailer for this?
I have not seen the trailer, but I've heard people saying it's good.
I like it, yeah.
Will Arnett will play the huge monster called Steve, who is being trained to become an unstoppable wrestler. From an interview from People magazine, Will Arnett said, quote, "I'm excited to be part of this really fun movie. It's a great, positive story in a time when we need to hear more positive stories." That's my Will Arnett impression.
Mm-hmm.
The movie's synopsis gives another glimpse into this world. Paramount Animations teamed up with WWE Studios for the film. So you know it's going to be great. Here's the synopsis. In a world where monster wrestling is a global sport and monsters are superstar athletes, teenage Winnie seeks to follow in her father's footsteps by coaching a lovable underdog monster into a champion. The movie also stars Terry Crews, Geraldine Viswanathan, wrestler Joe Roman Reigns Anoa'i, Tony freaking Danza, Becky Lynch, Susan Kalechi Watson, Stephen A. Smith, Jimmy Tatro, Ben Schwartz, and Michael Buffer. Roman Reigns previously appeared in Fast and the Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw as one of the cousins of Dwayne Johnson's character.
Snore.
You know what? I probably will watch the trailer after we're done, and I'll decide if I want to see this movie or not. I mean, I'm into animation. I really am.
Yeah, I like animation as well.
So, maybe I'll watch it. It would be really cool, because honestly, there aren't really that many wrestling movies, especially for families, so that actually is a pretty cool idea for a movie. Alright, Fro, our employees have brought in the wheel, which means it is time for another edition of Wrestling with Politics. This is the segment where Fro and I are going to rank the 6 presidents of the United States that have held office since the very first WrestleMania back in 1985, and our goal is ultimately to decide which president had the best era of WrestleMania. To give a brief update on our rankings, last week, George W. Bush took over the number 1 position, which bumped Barack Obama into second place. Which, of course, I'm sure he has not heard that sentence in at least 20 years. So, Fro, we have 4 presidents still on the wheel. This is the halfway point of this. Before I spin the wheel, do you want to take a guess at who you think the wheel will land on today?
Trump-a-lump.
You say it's going to be Trump. All right. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of Wrestling with Politics, and it is time to spin the wheel. Let's see who it lands on. I did not have relations with that woman.
Bill Clinton.
Yep. It landed on Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was the 42nd President of the United States of America. He defeated George H.W. Bush in the 1992 elections to become 42nd President of the United States, served 2 terms, one as an incumbent in 1996, defeating Bob Dole. He was president from 1993 to 2001. And
I always forget that he won against Dole. Because Dole was very, very, very bad. I remember that.
Bob Dole. Hello.
Bob Dole here.
Yeah. That's how he was speaking. Hello, I'm Bob Dole. I sound like a machine.
All right, so we're going to go through the 8 WrestleManias that were held while Bill Clinton was in the office. And to be honest, how he managed to get through 8 is amazing. Especially after Miss Lewinsky. But that's another story.
That's another story.
So his first WrestleMania, WrestleMania 9.
Aye.
Some have called it one of the worst WrestleManias of all time.
Oh, it's definitely up there.
It is headlined by Bret Hart defending the WWF title against Yokozuna, only for a certain someone to come out and win the belt after.
Who was that, Bill?
I don't know, brother.
Huh. I don't know, brother, either. Brother.
We also had Hulk Hogan returning after a year absence, teaming up with Brutus Beefcake to challenge Ted DiBiase and IRS for the WWF Tag Team titles. We also had a good Intercontinental title match, Shawn Michaels defending against Tatanka, plus The Undertaker versus the Giant Gonzalez.
Not a good Undertaker match either.
Yeah. Then we had WrestleMania 10, which had 2 WWF Championship defenses, Yokozuna defending against Lex Luger, and the winner of that match would defend against Bret Hart at the end of the show. We also had Razor Ramon against Shawn Michaels in a ladder match, the first time ever on pay-per-view, and we had Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
Yeah.
So a big rebound from WrestleMania 9.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of 10, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not my favorite.
Right.
I know it's in your top 10.
Yeah, it is in my top 10.
Yeah.
And then we had the shit sandwich that was WrestleMania 11.
Oh, freaking hell, yes.
Perhaps the worst WrestleMania of all time.
How did he get so many bad WrestleManias?
He's got 2 in the first 3
and
years.
11. Yeah.
Which was
unlucky bastard.
Which was headlined by a match that actually isn't that bad. Bam Bam Bigelow against Lawrence Taylor.
No, it's not that bad, but nobody cares.
We also had Diesel defending the WWF title against Shawn Michaels. And we had Bret Hart against Bob Backlund in a quote-unquote I Quit match.
Yeah, that is very quote-unquote.
And Bret Hart has even said that is one of his worst matches ever. He has admitted that. How about that?
I don't disagree.
Then we have WrestleMania 12, which features the first ever Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels for the WWF title.
What?
Oh, that's probably Bill Clinton right now. They're probably going to assassinate me. Then we have the return of the Ultimate Warrior as he faces, I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Have you ever heard of him?
No, never heard of him.
And we had the blow-off match to the Billionaire Ted skits, the Nacho Man against the Huckster in a pre-show match.
Yeah. I don't mind this. This is okay, WrestleMania.
12's not that bad. I don't have it. I would not have it in my bottom 5. It's not that bad.
No. It's...
Then we have WrestleMania 13, which is a hot mess of a show because
Very.
the main event is Sid defending the WWF title against The Undertaker.
Yeah.
But we do have Bret Hart against Stone Cold Steve Austin in a submission match.
Yeah.
And we have, I think, an underrated street fight, the Nation of Domination against Ahmed Johnson and the Legion of Doom. I actually enjoyed that match.
I didn't, but I again, it's very hard for me to say nice things about matches I had going into it. Like, I knew nothing about the storyline.
Right.
I've seen all WrestleManias.
Yeah,
from
I have too.
1 to 26.
Right.
And I didn't watch wrestling when WrestleMania 1 to 26 was on, almost.
Then we have a little bit of hope for President Clinton because during his time with the Lewinsky scandal, we have WrestleMania 14.
Very good WrestleMania.
Yes, very good. Stone Cold Steve Austin challenging Shawn Michaels for the WWF title. Mike Tyson is the outside referee for that match. Plus, we have the first ever match between Kane and The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And we have Ken Shamrock challenging The Rock for the Intercontinental title.
This is actually one of the most underrated WrestleManias, I feel like.
And if you want to throw something in for shits and giggles, one of the guests for WrestleMania 14, Jennifer Flowers.
I like this. I like I said, this is very underrated, I feel.
Yeah.
This is definitely in my top 10.
Then we have WrestleMania 15, which is headlined by The Rock against Stone Cold Steve Austin. We also had Shane McMahon defending the European title against X-Pac. And we had perhaps the worst Hell in a Cell match ever, the Big Boss Man against The Undertaker. And
I'm very happy that I didn't see this before I became a fan of Undertaker.
And
because this is bad.
And finally, WrestleMania 2000, because everything had to end in 2000. You know, if we ever get to a WrestleMania 2000, which I doubt, but if we ever get to that, those people are going to be so confused.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the headliner for WrestleMania 16, the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match for the WWF title with a McMahon in every corner. Triple H defending the WWF title against The Big Show, The Rock, and Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we had a triple threat match for 2 titles. Kurt Angle defending both the European and Intercontinental titles against Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. And a fantastic ladder match for the WWF Tag Team titles. The Dudley Boys defending against Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys. And those are the WrestleManias held during Bill Clinton's administration as President of the United States.
I think we will agree pretty anonymous about this without much discussion, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's going in 30s now.
He's at the bottom right now. I think even though I really love 14.
Right.
I love 14. That's a great WrestleMania. And I agree with you. I think it's an underrated WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I am a fan of 10. He just has too many bad WrestleManias to overcome.
Yeah, I know.
So I think we're going to turn the key and we're going to put Bill Clinton at number 3 on our list.
Mm-hmm.
So to recap for everyone, our new list, for the second week in a row, number 1, George W. Bush staying at number 1. Barack Obama is at number 2. And at the bottom, at number 3, is Bill Clinton. So we have officially reached the halfway point on our Wrestling with Politics list. We have 3 more to go. We'll figure out who it is next week. And
Should we do a pay-per-view?
We have a pay-per-view to preview.
Yeah.
Because this Saturday, it is AEW Revolution. And before I get into that, I have something that crossed our wire while we were recording. This is reported from Mike Johnson at PW Insider. During today's All Elite Wrestling panel at C2E2 in Chicago, for those that don't know, C2E2 is a comic convention, sort of like the San Diego Comic-Con, like that.
Okay.
The panel was asked about old school matches they would like to resurrect in the future in AEW. Interestingly, Cody commented that they would be announcing an old school match concept tomorrow that would, quote, upset some people.
Okay.
While what the announcement will be is not confirmed, it should be noted that Cody has in the past filed for a trademark on the term The Match Beyond, a common subtitle used for war games in the NWA and WCW, so that may be a clue. Very interestingly. All right, so we have, how many matches do we have here? 8 matches in total. All the championships are going to be defended. Actually, before we get into that, let's stay with AEW real quick. The Iron Man match, Pac and Omega. Your thoughts on that?
I can't wait.
Did you see the match?
Oh yeah. It was amazing.
It really, I was going back and forth between that and Masked Singer, and that was a fantastic match.
Yeah.
But I do have to ask, and this, actually, I'm going to put this up in our Facebook group as a poll question for this week.
Okay.
Your preferred Iron Man match, 30 minutes or 60 minutes?
30.
Okay.
I don't like super long matches anyway.
Right. Honestly, I could go either way.
Right.
I could go 30 or I could go 60. It really doesn't matter to me. All right.
Doesn't really matter to me. Sorry. I had to.
That's okay. So we have 8 matches on this show.
Yes.
They haven't announced what the pre-show's going to be. Maybe we get a pre-show match. Maybe we don't. Who knows? But I have the card in front of me. We will go through each match, and we will make our pick as to who will win. And we will begin with tag team action as Evil Uno and Grayson from the Dark Order will take on Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky of SCU.
I'm going to go with SCU.
I'm gonna go with the Dark Order on this one.
Okay. I don't mind anyway.
Right.
I'm not super sure about this match.
Yeah.
It's very up in the air.
Mm-hmm. I just think something is gonna come out from that match. I don't know
agree.
what, but now this next match almost broke the internet when it was announced. Pac taking on Orange Cassidy.
I can't wait for this.
Oh my goodness! I'm going to say this
is going to be so good.
before we make our picks. If you have not seen Orange Cassidy wrestle, which I'm sure a good amount of you have not,
Right.
you are in for a treat.
You are.
You really are. I have seen him wrestle I've seen him wrestle live and in person. I've seen him on video.
Oh.
He is so good as a wrestler. You're going to be in for a treat.
I had to do some research because I didn't know who he was. But I think it's pretty obvious. It's his first pay-per-view match. It's his first match in AEW. So I'm going with him.
Really? You're going with Orange on this one? Okay. I'm going to go with Pac on this one. Just because of what happened with the Iron Man match and Pac being really pissed off. But I would be more than happy if Orange Cassidy won that match.
I think that, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need the win,
No.
really. And that's PAX. I mean,
Right. Talking about
that.
PAX.
So I think they want to push the new talent.
Maybe. I have to wait and see.
Mhm.
Then we have this match. This is going to be a good match here as well. Darby Allin against Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, I need to go with Sammy.
See, this is actually one of the tougher matches to pick.
Oh, really?
For
I
me.
thought this was pretty easy.
Because Darby is over. He is so
Yeah, he is.
He is
Yeah.
over. And Sammy is so hated. He's so good as a heel.
I love him as a heel.
I do too. I think I'm going to go with Sammy just because I think I could see this feud going on.
That's why I picked him as well.
Yeah.
I needed a heel to win
Right.
as well.
This is the first time we've agreed on a match, actually, on this one. So that's pretty good. Then we have Jake Hager finally making his in-ring debut against Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah. Again, they're not going to fuck this up, so I need to go with the heel.
Oh, man. Yeah,
No, there's
I think
there's
Jake's
no
gonna-
way Dustin wins.
Yeah, I think Jake's going to win this one. I think he has to at this point.
Yeah, he needs to.
Yeah. Then, okay, actually, I'm going to save this match for a little later because of how important that is. So I'm going to save that one for later. We're going to go now to the AEW Women's Title match. Nyla Rose makes her first defense of the title against Chris Statlander.
Yeah, Nyla Rose.
Yeah, Nyla's winning that one. I like Chris, but Nyla is winning that match.
There's no way she's losing her first title defense.
No. Then we have the AEW Tag Team titles. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page defend the titles against the Young Bucks.
Oh, this is harder, actually.
This is more of who needs the win more, to be honest.
Yeah. You go first.
I think Omega and Page are going to hang on to the titles. I think Page is going to do something heelish that helps the team keep the titles. Yeah, this is a tough one.
I just like I feel like they don't need it, but and I have too many heels winning. No,
Well, Omega and Page aren't a heel team. They're both faces. Like, both teams are faces.
Right. In a way. Yeah, I think I will go with you.
Okay. Then...
But I wouldn't be angry if the Young Bucks won.
Right. And technically, you know, they would, if they did win, they'd only be the third champions ever, so...
Right.
People can't complain about that. Then we have... the big grudge match. Cody versus MJF.
They have hyped this match
so well.
Very, very, very well. And I feel like MJF has gotten a lot of heat. He's one of the best heels I have seen in so long.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
And I think he... Here's my problem. I have so many heels with him. I need to go with him, though. I to continue this feud, I need him to win.
The thing here is, if you have Cody win, you basically have MJF losing his first singles match, which he
that's the problem as well.
But at the same time, if
I know.
MJF wins, he becomes an even bigger heel and a bigger douchebag, which is what you really want out of a guy after such a big win.
That's why I pick him. That's why I'm saying MJF.
I think it's got to be MJF.
Yeah.
Because the thing for me is Cody's had to go through everything to get this match.
Yeah.
Now he's got the match. The question is, will he be able to control his emotions?
Right, and I don't think he will.
Is the story of the match.
Yeah.
So I
agree.
think MJF is going to win this match.
I am happy we agree on this because it was very hard for me to pick.
Now we get to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jericho defending the AEW title against Jon Moxley.
Hoo-ha! That's all I can say. I'm so super duper excited for this match.
If you had asked,
I can't wait to see them wrestle.
If you had asked me on Wednesday before the show who was going to win, I would have told you Jericho 1,000%.
Yeah, me too.
After the show, I'm like, oh, hold on, you know?
Yeah.
But again,
no.
The thing is, they're both big names. They both are. The question is, which do you risk? Do you risk a guy who is so over in Moxley that if he loses, there is maybe a chance you lose a bit of your fan base? Or if you take the title off of Jericho, does it stop the momentum of the Inner Circle, which has been phenomenal since it first started?
Yeah, no.
And then, and I want to add this on to the fire. We've already had a world title change this week with the Universal title. Do you really want to go with 2 in a week?
I know. But it's a little different with a pay-per-view, though.
It is.
Than a
Saudi show.
Saudi show. I almost called it a house show.
Well, I mean, it could have been a house show. I mean, it was in Saudi Arabia, you know.
Right. Yeah. No, but it's very hard for me to not go with Jericho here because I feel like the storyline here.
I know.
But no, I'm going to go with Moxley just for the fun of it.
Oh, man.
I know it is so tough, but I have too much heel sweating, and I need them to go out with a bang. And I think Moxley getting this gets also Jericho to do something else because I think when is this new thing with his group? Isn't that coming up as well? Yeah, Fuzzy. Isn't that coming up right now as well?
Let me check.
So maybe he needs a break.
He's got a tour starting on April the 16th.
Yeah, and he needs to get ready for that tour. You see what I mean?
Ooh, I never thought about that. Ooh.
Yeah.
By the way, for those curious,
that's why I'm picking Moxley.
For those curious, April 16th, the first show is in Savannah, Georgia. For those that are curious.
Yep, I'm picking Moxley. I know. I didn't do it any more easy for you.
No, you didn't.
No.
Oh man. Okay.
I don't know.
No, but here's my thing. I'm trying to figure this out in my head. Because Jericho's been on TV every week since the show has started.
Mm-hmm.
if he wins the title, or if he stays the champion, you don't have another pay-per-view till May.
No,
and by that point, Jericho would be back.
Right.
Oh my
But you
gosh!
don't have him out of the TV, though. You can't do that. He's not. He's not Lesnar.
Thankfully. And then
He wants to show up. That's the problem.
And then once he comes back, you don't have to put him right away in the title picture.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna be upset with whoever wins, but I'm gonna go Jericho.
Okay.
I know I really shouldn't be thinking that hard, but I am. I just am.
I think you're wrong.
We'll have to wait and... Hey, you know what? If I'm wrong, I will be happy to be wrong.
Right. I just, like I said, for the reasons why I said I think he's going to lose. I will be happy if I'm wrong as well.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Either way, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show. I mean, after what we went through yesterday, it can't be any worse.
Yeah, and again, if you want to listen to me and Bill torture yourself, go to Patreon.
Yes. I think on that note, we're going to start plugging everything and get ready.
And talking about Patreon.
Yeah.
What's the Patreon address?
It is Patreon, patreon.com/thatwrestlingshow. We, honestly, folks, we have the best tiers, the best prices. And I'm going to recap it again. For $1, we're going to say thank you for pledging, for supporting us. For $2, not only are we going to thank you, but you get to pick any match you want me to do commentary on. Any wrestling match ever in history, I will do it. And of course, the big one, the $3 tier, you get all that, plus you get firsthand our review of the pay-per-views within 24 hours after they have ended. So probably by the time you guys are listening to this right now, our review of Super Showdown is up right now. Mm-hmm. And Sunday, we will have our review of Revolution up for your review to listen to. You can, if you have any questions or comments, send an email. WrestlingMan@thatwrestlingshow.com. Follow the show on Twitter @WrestlingShow11. Join our Facebook group. It is That Wrestling Show fan group. Type that in the search bar and you're right there. If you can't find it, it's okay. I always post a link in the description box so you guys can copy, paste, go from there. Follow the show on Instagram. We are at That Wrestling Show. Are you ready for this, bro? I'm actually going to surprise you here. We have, in the limited amount of time we've been on Instagram, we now have 51 followers.
Nice.
And we've only posted 9 times.
Cool.
So keep it up, folks. Keep it up. Visit the website, thatwrestlingshow.com. Bro, what did you guys discuss on Another Digital Citizen this week?
We talked about Lilith, the maybe first wife of Adam.
Interesting.
And we also talked about the Democratic debate being awful.
What a surprise.
Yeah, shock. It's I mean, yeah, I'm not going to talk politics, but
right.
It is getting, I can't wait for Super Tuesday this Tuesday.
Well, I can't wait for all this to be over in November. All right, we have some podcasts you guys should check out. Check out Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. They get you through the world of retro wrestling as only they can. I mean, it's, pardon me, one of the best podcasts going today. This week, they talk about the influence of ECW, plus week 3 of the worst managers, the Royal Flush of worst managers, and they review an episode of NWA AWA Pro Wrestling USA from October 20th, 1984. Try saying that 5 times fast.
That was a lot of abbreviations, as they call it.
That is our vantage point. Also, last time we can ever plug them here, the wrestling podcast about nothing with former independent referee Mike Crockett, chaotic wrestling owner Brian Fury, and Ring of Honor superstar Brian Malonis. They celebrate their 200th episode by bringing back some old segments on the show and a fond farewell to the wrestling podcast about nothing. If you like your podcasts hosted by one individual, let's listen to Greetings from Allentown with your host Peter Winson. He watches one episode of professional wrestling each week in his own unique way and talks about a lot of sports and other stuff. Talks about his days in college, talks about his life, talks about almost anything. This week, he reviews an episode of Superstars from February 29th, 1992, because, well, tomorrow is a leap day, so he reviews the 29th of February, 1992. So check out...
It's leap day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that.
So check out Greetings from Allentown. If you're looking for non-wrestling podcasts, how about the Best Pick Movie Podcast with Tom, John, and Jess? They watch each and every Academy Award-winning Best Picture in no particular order, and they ultimately decide if the Academy got it right. This week, they discuss the Best Picture winner from 2012, Argo.
Ooh, that's a bad movie.
Do you want me to read off the nominees that were with it?
Yes.
Okay. Amour.
Mm-hmm.
Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Django Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
Les Miserables.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Les Miserables. I was just kidding, folks.
I know.
Life of Pi.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Linings Playbook.
I like that one.
And Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, I have to go with the next to last you said.
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of Argo.
I haven't really... I couldn't really pick on this one. I mean...
Not my kind of... It's just not my kind of movie.
Right. So, check out the Best Pick podcast. Also, check out Unspooled with Paul and Amy. They watch each movie from AFI's list of the 100 greatest movies of all time, the 2007 edition. Now, this week, they're taking another week off from going through the list, as they release audio from a live show they did at the Alamo Draft House, where they discussed the 1984 cult classic Repo Man. No, I'm not talking about Barry Darsow. I'm talking about Repo Man. I've actually never heard of this movie, so...
I love Repo Man. It's so good.
Repo Man. No, I'm just kidding.
But I love that movie. It's so good.
So check out Unspooled.
You never seen that movie?
Never even heard of it, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's so good.
Also, check out Last Stop Penn Station with Carrie Silkin and Ian Riccaboni as we go into the mind of Carrie Silkin. This week, he talks about going to Puerto Rico, and they divulge into the story behind the mythical schoolboy. So that is Last Stop Penn Station. Also, check out Sharks Pond, a South Park podcast where I watch each and every South Park episode in order. This week, I discussed the Season 8 episode, Stupid Spoiled Horror Video Playset. And boy,
say that 10 times.
Yeah,
fast.
really. And boy, do I go at it on not only Paris Hilton, but other people as well. So, check that out. And finally, Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast, comes this weekend as we will discuss the 2009 Royal Rumble match. So that is Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast. Next week on the show, we are going to review AEW Dynamite. We are going to preview the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And who knows what else we're going to be talking about next week. We'll just have to wait and see.
I'm going to guess Masked Singer.
Oh yeah, will we do Masked Singer again? Maybe another Hall of Fame announcement?
Yeah, I'd probably.
Maybe, never know. So everybody, have a good, safe weekend, no matter what it is that you do. And when you're done, come back here next week for another episode of That Wrestling Show, the podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always...
Do you want to hear a joke?
Sure.
How do you spell STD?
STD.
No, you just call for the Bella Twins.
Oh, God. Wrestle on.
Wrestle on.